In the world of coin collecting, there are countless stories of small pieces of metal that carry far greater weight than their tiny size suggests. And one coin that continues to ignite curiosity and excitement is the 1975 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it looks like just another dime, worth 10 cents and easily overlooked in change. But this particular year and type of dime carries with it mystery, history, and the allure of rare error coins that collectors chase across auctions. To understand why the 1975 Roosevelt dime is so fascinating, we need to go back to the historical backdrop of American coinage and why this small coin has captured the imagination of numismatists for decades. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing in 1945. Chosen for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt also had a personal connection to the March of Dimes campaign, which helped fight polio, a disease he himself battled. His face on the dime was symbolic, paying tribute to his strength and to the millions of Americans who supported the campaign. By 1975, the Roosevelt dime had been in circulation for nearly 3 decades, with the same design by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. The obverse featured Roosevelt's profile, while the reverse carried the torch of liberty flanked by an olive branch and oak branch, representing peace, victory, and strength. But what makes the 1975 Roosevelt dime so fascinating is that no dimes dated 1975 were supposed to exist. In preparation for the nation's bicentennial celebration in 1976, the U.S. Mint struck special quarters, half dollars, and dollars with dual dates of 1776 to 1976. For the dime, however, there was no bicentennial design, yet collectors were not expecting any surprises. What complicates the story is that error coins from 1975 surfaced, and they became a source of endless fascination. One of the most famous cases is the 1975 Roosevelt dime missing the mint mark. Usually, coins produced at the San Francisco Mint bore an S mark, but in some rare cases, the S was accidentally left off proof dies, leading to a tiny number of coins without the mint mark. These were never intended for release, yet some found their way into collectors' hands, immediately transforming a 10-cent coin into an auction sensation. The excitement around the 1975 Roosevelt dime isn't only about the missing mint mark. Collectors scour their collections looking for striking errors, off-center strikes, doubling on the lettering, or other minting anomalies. Each error type adds rarity, and in numismatics, rarity drives value. Auctions across the country have seen bidders fighting for ownership of these error dimes, raising prices higher than anyone would expect for something so small. In one auction after another, the coin proves its worth, climbing past tens of thousands of dollars, with collectors eager to secure a piece of history. What makes these auctions even more thrilling is the drama of discovery. Imagine someone finding a dime they had overlooked for years, sending it for grading, and then realizing it was a rare 1975 error. From pocket change to the auction block, its journey is a reminder of why coin collecting is both a science and a treasure hunt. Auctioneers recount how bidders, both online and in packed halls, drive the prices upward with every raise of a paddle or click of a button. The audience holds its breath as final bids push into life-changing amounts, and a once ordinary dime transforms into a collector's trophy. Part of the appeal also lies in the fact that error coins like the 1975 Roosevelt dime weren't supposed to exist. Their very survival is accidental, which makes them feel almost like forbidden treasures. Collectors love the sense of owning something that slipped through the cracks of perfection, a mistake by the mint that became a legend in auctions. And because so few exist, every time one appears in an auction, it sparks a wave of headlines in the coin community, with enthusiasts eager to see how high the price will climb this time. Beyond the auctions, the historical context makes the 1975 dime even more intriguing. The mid-1970s were a time of change in America, from political scandals to economic challenges, and coins from this era reflect the resilience of the nation. The Roosevelt dime, steady and unchanged in design, symbolized continuity, yet within that steady image was hidden a rare mistake that turned into a collector's dream. The idea that one small error from a minting press in San Francisco could someday command six-figure prices in auctions is nothing short of remarkable. Collectors also know that condition plays a huge role in determining value. A 1975 Roosevelt dime error in pristine condition, graded by top services like PeaceGS or NGC, will always demand higher bids at auction. Mint state coins with brilliant surfaces and sharp details are prized the most, and when paired with an error like the missing mint mark, they become nearly priceless. Stories circulate of collectors who secured one at auction decades ago for a fraction of today's price and now see their investment multiply many times over. These auctions are not just about the coin itself, but also about prestige. Owning a 1975 Roosevelt Dime error is like joining an exclusive club. It means you hold a piece of numismatic history that very few people in the world can claim. When displayed at shows or collector gatherings, the coin instantly attracts attention, sparking conversations about its rarity and the wild prices it achieves at auction. For many, it isn't only about the money. It's about holding a tangible link to history and the thrill of the chase. And yet, the financial aspect cannot be ignored. For everyday people, the idea that a 10-cent coin could be worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars is almost unbelievable. But time and again, auctions have proven it to be true. The 1975 Roosevelt Dime, in its rarest forms, has achieved staggering results. It has transformed from pocket change into an asset that can rival jewelry, art, or even cars in value. The beauty of this story is that such treasures could still be hiding in collections, in forgotten boxes, or even in loose change jars at home. Collectors remind us that great discoveries often come when least expected, and the thrill of possibly uncovering a rare 1975 Roosevelt dime is what keeps the hunt alive. Auctions thrive on this excitement, feeding the cycle of discovery, competition, and reward. And now comes the moment you've been waiting for, the value of this extraordinary coin today. Depending on condition, rarity of the error, and the intensity of the bidding wars at auctions, the 1975 Roosevelt dime has been valued between an astounding $41,000 and an almost unbelievable $292,000. For a coin meant to be worth just 10 cents, its journey to six-figure auction results is nothing short of legendary, making it one of the most captivating treasures in U.S. coinage history. In 1969, a small coin emerged from the United States, mint that most people never thought twice about when they held it in their hand. It was the Roosevelt dime, a coin designed to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt after his passing in 1945, a coin that became such an everyday part of American life that millions upon millions were struck and circulated widely. Yet hidden among these countless examples was an error variety so rare and so unique that it managed to turn an ordinary 10-cent piece into an item capable of fetching astronomical prices at auctions. The story of this coin is not just about metal and design, but about history, mystery, and the thrill of discovery that keeps collectors searching through pocket change even today. The Roosevelt dime itself carries great symbolism. The portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, was chosen to appear on the dime because of his dedication to fighting polio and his connection to the March of Dimes Foundation. The design, created by Chief Engraver John R. Sinek, features Roosevelt's left-facing profile on the obverse with the word Liberty, the motto, "In God We Trust," and the year of minting below. On the reverse, you'll see a torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength, with the words United States of America, e pluribus unum, and one dime, encircling the design. It's a simple yet powerful depiction, one that resonated with Americans during the post-World War II years. Why 1969, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for nearly 25 years, and the country had transitioned away from using silver and dimes after 1964. Instead, the coins were struck in a clad composition of copper and nickel, giving them a silvery appearance without the precious metal content. This made them cheaper to produce, but also reduced the intrinsic value of the dime itself. Despite this, some coins struck in 1969 stand out, not because of their metal composition, but because of the errors created during the minting process. These errors are what transformed a piece of pocket change into a numismatic treasure, a coin that could make someone wealthy overnight if found in circulation. Error coins come in many forms. Some involve double strikes, where the coin is struck more than once, creating a shadowed or overlapping image. Others may feature off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or missing elements due to mistakes in the minting machinery. For the 1969 Roosevelt dime, error varieties that slipped through quality control have become the stuff of legends in the collecting world. Imagine spotting doubling in the lettering or an unusual strike that sets your dime apart from the millions of others minted that year. These are the details that collectors hunt for, And it is precisely these anomalies that have driven the demand and skyrocketed the values at auctions. Collectors often speak of the thrill of searching through rolls of dimes from banks or pocket change in hopes of stumbling upon one of these rare pieces. Many have found ordinary coins, but every so often, someone makes a discovery that rewrites the story. And when such finds are brought to light, they frequently end up at major auctions where the competitive bidding showcases just how desirable these coins have become. Auctions not only set the benchmark for the coin's value, but also highlight the passion collectors have for history locked in metal. Time and again, 1969 Roosevelt Dime era coins have stunned audiences at these auctions, reaching prices that most would never imagine for a coin worth 10 cents on its face. But what exactly makes a coin like this so alluring? Beyond its design and rarity, it carries with it a story of survival. Most error coins are caught during the minting process and destroyed before leaving the mint. But a few slip through, making their way into circulation and quietly passing from hand to hand. Some end up in coin jars, some in bank vaults, and others are spent unknowingly at shops and restaurants. It is only years later, when someone with a keen eye notices something unusual, that these coins come to light. The 1969 Roosevelt Dime error is one such example, and its rise in value over the years has made it a legendary piece for collectors. Over decades, auctions have become the battleground where the true worth of these coins is revealed. Bidders compete fiercely, each wanting to own a piece of American history that is not just rare, but also represents the unpredictability of the minting process. Stories abound of coins once thought ordinary later being authenticated and sold for jaw-dropping amounts. The 1969 dime has shared that spotlight, with collectors recalling auctions where it exceeded expectations, hammering at figures that drew gasps from the audience. For many collectors, owning such a coin isn't just about monetary value. It's about holding in your hands a piece of the past, something that connects you to a moment in history and to the craftsmanship, and sometimes the flaws of the minting process. Every scratch, every detail, every doubling tells a story, and that story gains even more weight when it has been validated at auction and recognized by experts. As the years go by, the demand for error coins continues to grow. With more collectors entering the hobby and with increased interest in rare finds, the value of coins like the 1969 Roosevelt Dime error shows no sign of slowing down. Auctions remain the most transparent way to track this demand, and each sale adds a new chapter to the story of this remarkable dime. The excitement builds with every lot that is announced, every bid placed, and every gavel that falls. And so, as we reach the conclusion of this journey into the world of the 1969 Roosevelt Dime, one truth becomes clear. What began as a simple 10-cent piece has transformed into a highly sought-after numismatic prize. Its rarity, its errors, its historical significance, and its repeated appearances in major auctions have elevated it far beyond its face value. Collectors who have pursued it know its worth, and those who have seen it cross the auction block know just how high the stakes can climb. The final reveal is staggering. This small dime, struck in 1969, has achieved a collector's value that ranges from $37,500 to an astonishing $350,000 at auctions. A coin once meant for everyday use has instead become a treasure, a reminder that history and fortune can sometimes be found in the most ordinary of places.